At the end of the day, my goal is for them to walk out as better human beings in June. Yes, obviously their reading and writing is important, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're walking out of my classroom in June, having learned some important things that are going to help you, succeed in the real world, I think that is the most important thing.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Inspiring Teachers, the Honored podcast, where we shine a spotlight on life-changing teachers across the country. I'm Hannah, your podcast host, and our podcast is brought to you by Honored, which is a national nonprofit organization dedicated to honoring and elevating great teachers nationwide. Our mission is to inspire and retain great teachers, keeping them in the classroom as long as possible. Every month of the school year at Honored, we select an exceptional educator in the United States to be the recipient of the Honored National Teaching Award. Each honoree, as we call them, receives a $5,000 cash reward, and we then tell the story on our website and our social media platforms of how that teacher has impacted their students' lives. To learn more about our organization, you can go to our website at honored.org. While you're there, if you have a teacher you would like to recognize, you can nominate them for our Honored National Teaching Award at honored.org/nominate. We are so excited to have you listening in on another Honoree podcast episode. Today, we are joined by Omar Lisojo, a high school English teacher at Dover High School in Dover, New Jersey. He was nominated for this award by multiple students. To help share the impact of Mr. Lisojo's teaching, we are joined today by his students, Nicole, Jacob, and Osvaldo. Before we dive into Mr. Lisojo's story, we are excited to kick off our honoree episode with our special segment, Teachers Who Inspired, which is featured at the beginning of each episode. Here, we invite well-known individuals to share a story about a teacher who had a lasting impact on their lives. These stories remind us that behind every great achievement, there's often an inspiring teacher who believes in their potential. Today, we're thrilled to have our guest on our special segment, Tomiko Ball, who we celebrated as Honored's first ever honoree back in 2017. Dr. Ball has 16 years of experience serving elementary youth in Washington, D.C. Employing conscious leadership, she utilizes affirmative-based pedagogical practices and learning designs for all students in pre-K through 20. She has 2 book chapters published in 2024, advocating her research on the inequities within higher education, healing practices of doctoral students of color, and socially just leadership. Presently, Dr. Ball serves as an assistant principal in the district, an adjunct professorial lecturer at American University School of Education, and a contributing writer with Philly's 7th Ward.
My name is Dr. Tomiko Ball. Nothing makes me happier than sharing a glimpse of my favorite elementary teacher. Her name was Mrs. Kennard. I recall Mrs. Kennard's daily smiles, her daily care, and her everyday exchange with me, letting me know that she believed in my potential. One day, she even bought me a pack of barrettes. And as a little girl, all I could recall was that this is the kindest thing a teacher could ever give to me. I took that lesson of care and belief and empowerment in children and carried that with myself as an adult learner, until I became a teacher myself, an instructional coach, and now a school administrator. One of the things that I will always hold on to and pass along is that students and adult learners will go, grow, and learn with you if they know that you care about them and you believe in their potential.
To start our episode off, Mr. Lisojo reflects on the teachers who left a life-changing impact on him, his 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Fowler, and his junior year English teacher, Mr. Diaz. Inspired by Mr. Diaz's safe and supportive classroom, Mr. Lisojo nominated him for our Honored National Teaching Award back in 2021, which Mr. Diaz received the following year. We are honored to highlight this full circle moment and share how Mr. Lisojo has carried the lessons he learned in Mr. Diaz's classroom into his own classroom.
So it actually started for me in 3rd grade. Shout out to Mrs. Fowler, who was my 3rd grade teacher. So I have known for a very long time that I wanted to go into this field. And she really she made teaching look very easy. And any teacher in this field, we know it's not easy. It's far from easy. But 8-year-old me was very inspired by Mrs. Fowler. And then fast forward to junior year when I had Mr. Diaz as my English teacher, he really cemented the fact that this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. So between the two of them, like I said, it's been a very long time, and I've known for a very long time that I wanted to go into this field. So it's been an incredible 3-year journey so far, and I owe it all to them for playing such a big part in my life and in the way that I kind of run my classroom as well. I've known, like I said, for a very long time that I wanted to go into this field, but there was something about Mr. Diaz and the way that he connected with his students in a way that I had never really seen before or experienced before. And he just made his classroom a safe space. Like I knew every single day walking in there, no matter what kind of day I was having, I knew that he would be able to turn my day around. And he started every day with a question on the board. It was a question related to life. So it wasn't in relation to anything that we were reading. It was just like a life question to get students to reflect on their own lives. And I generally looked forward to his class every single day because I knew that I would walk away having learned something, whether it was about my own life or whether it was about, my classmates and their lives, what they had going on. It was just a really nice way to start class before getting into the curriculum and things that he was actually required to teach. And it kind of translates into me in my own room now. I start every class with a quote of the day and also like a journal question and have students interact with each other. And I really feel like it builds community within the classroom. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about in my opinion.
For Mr. Lisojo, teaching goes beyond academics. He takes the time to establish relationships with his students and learn about them beyond the classroom. His philosophy revolves around the acknowledgement that we are all human and deserve someone who truly sees and cares about us. By taking the time to connect with his students, he gives them a safe environment to share their feelings and be their authentic selves.
For me, it's really evident when a student in my classroom is struggling. My approach and my philosophy is just recognizing that every student in my classroom is a human being before the student, right? Before they are just like a number of, let's say, 25 kids. So I feel like from the very beginning, I do my best to establish those relationships and learn about what they like, what they don't like. And I feel like that translates very well into me kind of noticing, all right, I know this kid, I know their strengths, I know their weaknesses, and there's something off. And usually it's just a simple, I'm going to pull my chair next to them and just provide a simple check in. How are you doing today? What's going on? I feel like you're off. And believe it or not, most students are very accepting of that because they don't have, I don't want to say any other adult, but not many adults in their lives that take the time to really just check in and say, how are you doing? What's going on? What's going on? Did you have a great weekend? So it's really that for me is it's having that simple conversation and really getting to see the human in them and really getting to know them. It really makes teaching a lot easier. And then that conversation can happen whether it's in the hallway or whether it's after class, whether it's after school. They know by this point, my door is always open. My door will always be open for them to talk, whether it's academic related or whether it's about something personal. Feelings, I think that's something that they know. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and it's something that I'm very proud of. And I think it really, at first, some of the boys, right, are kind of hesitant, right, especially with societal expectations and things like, boys can't show feelings, right? I think once they get into my classroom and I model that from day one, I really think it makes them think differently about things. Because at the end of the day, we need to show our emotions, right, in order to have healthy relationships and to just be the best versions of ourselves. So there's nothing more I love than those human moments when we're reading a book and someone has a random question about life or a random question about like, I'm really stressed about getting into college. Like, and I don't mind, I'm that teacher. Everyone just close your book right now. This can wait. Let's have this conversation because everyone around you is probably thinking the same exact thing. I feel like as a teacher, we wear many hats, and that's something that I take pride in because as we know, being a teenager nowadays, it's very difficult. It's very different. And there's a lot of pressures and, students wanting to fit in and they compare themselves to their friends. And it's just hard being a high schooler. So if I could be that one adult that they know they can talk to and they can feel comfortable to, I think I'm doing my job.
To share about how Mr. Lisojo creates an environment where everyone feels safe and welcomed, we spoke with his student, Nicole. She expresses how Mr. Lisojo's class is somewhere you can show up as you are and be met with patience and understanding. His classroom is a space where students can build relationships and truly belong.
Walking into Mr. Lisojo's classroom, I can always feel like myself. For example, last year, my second period, I had him. And our little group, we had such a good bond between all the kids, and we all felt like family. And even on days that one of the kids weren't having a good day, he would always take time and like stop the class and always just talk to everybody and tell them like, you guys are doing this wrong or that, and always just communicate. So everybody knows that they can go to him if anything's going on. And I always love how if a kid's having a bad day, he always like ask them on a deeper level just to make sure like they're actually doing good. And I always really appreciate him for that.
Mr. Lisojo has a gift for supporting students who feel like school isn't their thing. He understands every student has a unique learning style and experiments with different approaches to reach everyone. Through individualized conversations and a genuine care for his students, he reminds them that they matter. He finds that when students know they are cared for, they are inspired to try harder and reach out for support.
So this kind of ties into what I just said. And at the end of the day, it's all about being human and seeing the human side in everything before anything that has to do with the curriculum. So again, you're a student in my classroom, but you're also a human being. So I like to take that approach, and I think that approach has kind of gotten me to this point. And again, just really checking in and seeing, all right, we're disengaged. Why are we disengaged? There's a missing piece here. And I always do my best to try to figure out that missing piece. And obviously, every student is different. Every student learns differently. So I try different approaches because it's not a one size fits all. So what may work for somebody, for example, like what may work for Jacob may not work for Nicole. And I think to me, that's the beauty of it, is really just sitting down and having a conversation and asking the student, what is it that's going on? What is it that I can do on my end to help you succeed in my classroom? And I feel like once students see, like, hey, I have this teacher that really cares about me as a human being, it really makes them want to perform better in your class. And that has been my experience so far. And it's really such a beautiful thing, especially if you don't like English. I'm an English teacher. And if you don't like reading and writing, it's obviously, it can be difficult. Reading and writing can be difficult. But at the end of the day, my goal is for them to walk out as better human beings in June. Yes, obviously their reading and writing is important, but in the grand scheme of things, if you're walking out of my classroom in June, having learned some important things that are going to help you, succeed in the real world, I think that is the most important thing. That trumps everything.
In our conversation, students Jacob and Osvaldo share how Mr. Lisojo pushes them to be the best versions of themselves. Through the hardest moments in their lives, Mr. Lisojo continues to show up, care for them, and never give up. Because of his support, they've achieved things they once thought impossible.
Back in freshman year, I used to be like the fool of the class and the clown, and I used to be respectful to teachers. And when I met Liso, I never felt like giving an issue or being disrespectful to him, which is crazy because I used to be like disrespectful to every teacher or give him a hard time. And since I met Liso, he always taught me to like lock in and not be the fool of the class and be the better one and be the one who graduates and everything. So I started doing that, and I saw that school was going so like easy. It was easier because I was not getting in trouble. And yeah, and I actually got honor my first time. I got honor. So yeah, that's actually like special for me because thank Lisoho, I got honor first time.
Yeah, one of the times were freshman year when I had nothing to look forward to. I was failing all my classes, and he just never gave up on me. He kept pushing me. He saw something I ain't even seeing myself, so he kept pushing me, and I ended up passing freshman year and not needing summer school. He's not just a good teacher. He's an amazing person. Like, he helps everybody that needs help, not just the students in need. Like, he does. Sometimes you don't even need to ask. He just helps you because he cares about his students, and he's by far the best teacher I've ever had.
Parents have described Mr. Lisojo as someone who is part of their family. In heartfelt notes, they've said that he doesn't just teach, he shows up, and have expressed how, as a parent, the greatest gift is knowing that their child has someone so extraordinary to lean on. Whether it's showing up to sports games, making a call home, or pulling out Rice Krispies treats and water bottles from his backpack, Mr. Lisojo shows up for his students beyond the classroom.
For the last 3 years, I've carried a backpack with water bottles and Rice Krispies, and it's a little thing, but for them, it's a big thing, right? So if I could play a part in helping them get that, right, whatever it is that they need, I'm obviously going to do that because a student cannot learn, right, and retain information if they're hungry, right, or if something is on their mind, which goes into like the mental health aspect of my teaching philosophy. If there's something that you're going through personally, how can I expect you to sit in my classroom and write your 5-paragraph essay when that 5-paragraph essay is the very last thing that's on your mind? So that's what really drives me to connect with them outside of the classroom. And going to sports games is one of my favorite things to do. I love taking pictures of them doing the things that they love, and then sending them. It's the best way to really like foster that connection, right? Like you're a student in my classroom, but you're also so many other things, and there's so many other things that you're doing with your lives, and it's really incredible. It's a really, really incredible part to play in their lives, just being able to show up for them when they need something. So it's funny because I feel like I'm known as that teacher, like, oh, you forgot your snack at home, go find Mr. Lisojo. So kids will come to me and knock on my door in the middle of me teaching or reading a book, right? And I open my door and I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like, Mr. Lisojo, I'm so sorry. Like, I know you're in the middle of teaching, but I just need a Rice Krispie treat. What am I gonna do? Right? I'm not gonna turn a kid away because they need a snack. Right. At the end of the day, you can't learn and really focus and put 100% forward if you're hungry or if there's something on your mind.
Building on Mr. Lisojo's support outside of school, Osvaldo shares how Mr. Lisojo shows up to all of his basketball games to cheer him on. These moments have taught Osvaldo that he always has someone in his corner who truly cares about him.
Yeah, it felt great because I had something to look forward to in the basketball games because sometimes my mom couldn't make it because she had work. And, just seeing him being supportive, even though if the game was like 20 minutes away, 30 minutes away, I would still see him there. And he would take photos for me. And I had something to look forward to after the game. It felt amazing.
Sharing more about Mr. Lisojo's life-changing impact, Nicole and Jacob talk about how his classroom is a space where they can express their feelings and find support. Whether it's academic or personal struggles, they know he is there to encourage them and lift them up.
I just feel like how patient he is with all the students, and he never made me like feel bad about asking questions and stuff. And he's just such a patient person, so I feel like every student is just comfortable in his class and they can always express their feelings no matter what.
Liso, like, he will always be more like than a teacher. He will talk to you like as a friend. He will ask you, are you okay? Or how you doing? So we don't remember when I got close to him near his desk, but this time that I was so upset, I was having family issues, and I went to school and I had Mr. Liso my third period. And I was so upset because I was having family issues, and he was the only teacher that asked me how I was doing or if I was okay. And he asked me if I wanted to talk to him, and I didn't even think about it. I just opened up to him and talk to him and tell him everything, and he helped me so much. And it's crazy because I would never get so close to a teacher like that. So I talked to him and I felt comfortable. I felt good to talk to him. He was like my best friend. And yeah, that's where everything started.
During our conversation, Mr. Lisojo recalls a time in his personal life where things were difficult for him. In this moment, he shares how his students showed up for him, returning the same support he's always given them. This time was an incredible reminder that Mr. Lisojo's empathy and teaching are making a difference, not just academically, but in ensuring his students are better humans as well.
Last year, I went through a difficult time. My family and I got a puppy, and unfortunately, my puppy was sick at the time, and we had no idea. So he ended up passing away within 3 months of us having him. And it was something we didn't expect and something that really just changed everything, right? You become, if you have pets, anybody listening, right? Like they become a part of our family. So I became so attached to, his name was Oakley, and Jacob and Osvaldo, who are a part of this and a part of my incredible journey, they really stepped up and had my back. And it was something I've never experienced before in my career. And it really felt like the roles were reversed. So it was always me showing up for them and me being there for them. And they really stepped up and came to my classroom door at least 5 times a day during that week just to make sure that I was okay and asked me if I needed anything. Like, Mr. Lusso, do you need a water bottle? Do you need a snack? Right. So it really just came like full circle. Like this is the work that I'm doing, and I'm seeing the results right in front of me. And I'm seeing these two young men, blossom into these amazing human beings. And I think that's my moment. It really just kind of like solidified, like, wow, this is awesome. The connection I have is so special, and they care about me. Again, like Jacob said, not just as a teacher, but as a best friend and as a mentor and somebody that we can talk to. So it was really, really hard. And I struggled that week and even beyond a week, right? Like grieving is hard and there's no set expiration when it comes to grieving, right? So it was really hard. That time in my life was very hard, and waking up in the morning was very difficult. But I thought about them, and they were the only two students at the time that knew kind of like what was going on. Because even if I tried to lie to them and say, hey, I'm fine, they knew me better. They knew me better. And they said, listen, what's going on? You can talk to us. We're here for you. And it was really just a beautiful thing that I will never forget.
Reflecting on what teaching means to him, Mr. Lisojo expresses his gratitude for his students and the opportunity to leave a life-changing impact. The connections he makes with his students inspire him to keep teaching and continue his journey in education.
Really thankful to be in this position and to be able to share these moments with my students. This is again, like Mrs. Fowler and Mr. Diaz, they made it seem like it was so easy, and obviously it's far from being easy, but I feel like I don't get a paycheck for teaching kids how to read and write. I really feel like it comes from the impact and the human connections that you make. And teachers, we don't get paid enough, right? We don't get paid enough, but it's not about the money. I truly believe it's not about the money. It's about these lifelong connections, and they don't just disappear after they graduate. We remain in contact, and I watch them go into adulthood and do the things that they said when they were sitting in my class freshman year, sophomore year, whatever year that they were going to do. And it's been amazing. And I have this overwhelming sense of gratitude for, especially for Nicole, for Jacob, and for Osvaldo for nominating me. And I couldn't be any more thankful to be on this journey with them. And I truly believe that this is just the beginning and the best is yet to come.
Thank you so much for listening and joining us today to learn more about Mr. Lisojo, our October honoree and recipient of the Honored National Teaching Award. To read more about his story, you can visit our website at honored.org or click the link in the episode description. If you have a teacher who you want to recognize and nominate for our teaching award, you can head to honored.org/nominate to recognize a teacher today. If you enjoyed today's episode, you can follow us and leave us a review on whatever podcast platform you're listening in from. Thanks again for listening, and make sure to tune in next month to hear the incredible story of our November honoree.